Hi, good night, Anthony. So let's take a quick look at the model that we have here. Um, I'll give you just a quick overall view, and then I'll explain some of the problems and some of the the things that, well, yeah, problems, things that still need to be resolved, and explain some of the things I've done, and yeah, so problems and what has been done. So I'm just giving you a quick overall view. Let's take our overhead shot. So this is basically the site plan as was drawn. Trying to line it up. Yeah. So overall view. This is the back side. Obviously, this is not. I will say that this is not a technically sound model, meaning that there are couple mistakes and couple minor mistakes. Um, as with working with the previous model and subtracting and adding volumes, sometimes it doesn't quite the geometry doesn't quite isn't quite exact sometimes, but it's pretty precise in terms of measurement. It's just all the alterations tend to get some. I'll show you in a while. Then you might get some funny stuff. So it's not 100% accurate to just build with. But visually, I mean, if I needed to render it, I could just grab this and dress up the scene and put in plants and furniture and whatnot and render from this. So it's not a bad model. I'm just saying is the level of accuracy I would say is like 95%, 96%. It's not 100%. So just so we're clear on that. Even like some things like the stairs to come up here, the walkway and all of that, that's not finished. So this is to get an idea of the back side of the cabins. I took out the trellis. I didn't think it looked good. Um, Still looking at it, the cabins. Now to the deck. So I did four of these squiggly seating area with the fire pit, fire pit. So you see why I had to model this entire structure just to know that it could work because the diameter of this deck is quite wide, so I need to be able to ensure that I could support it. So this is what's going on underneath it. Um, but I kept this trellis. You said you liked it, so uh, I'm mixed about it. It's okay. Uh, just the best I could come up with at the time. 'Cause I like that the rails they all integrate with each with the building, with the cabins, and with the deck. It all seems to be one language. I also like the circles, the semicircles that they match this this overhang here. So it all seems to be one language, one architectural language, which is nice. Um, this I had a lot of trouble modeling is for some odd reason. Um, Pretty much close to what it is, but it's not an accurate model. Didn't model it super accurate. For some reason it was confusing modeling it. Um, yeah, so you have stairs here, you'd have your lounge chairs, long chairs. Um, Let's get rid of this shadow. So taking away from it a bit. So let me just explain a couple things. So I lightened the rails. I made them very light, so it's not as chunky as before. This here, this is just my quick idea of how this translucent glass or plexiglass or whatever it be needs to be broken up because this you can't just have one large piece of glass here, so it needs to be broken up. Whether you do it rectilinear or whatever, but I thought seeing that this volume is circular, I could just use some circles. Maybe you do the circles more random. Who knows? It it seems from on top, it looks a little crowded and busy, but I took a look at it from inside, and it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't have too bad of an effect inside. I could imagine that the lights, when the lights come through, it'll look even, it'll look good. I mean, this is just a thing on a computer, but in real life, this should look pretty good. Um, yeah, this is a mistake. See what I'm talking about? Little mistakes. This will be the ledge. This I see I added this ledge so that you could grow your plants and have your vines hanging down from this on the inside. Um, I added I added your large glazing here, made these bigger, made this bigger. What else? Oh yeah, in the back here, I think you wanted some more glass. So uh, I really agree with that suggestion. Opening up this looks good on the outside, looks better, it looks really nice. And obviously you could imagine on the inside it'd be quite illuminated. So that'll be good. Some of the problems I've had, let me just identify them quickly. Let me put this back. So you see the red here. The red is what is the original site, and the green is what the site that I've molded is. It's not an exact science, but it's basically what I was doing is pulling down points on the topography to points meaning. Let me just put it on. So points meaning like I grab a point and then I move it up and down or whatever. Um, to sort of mold the site to what I want, but it's not as exact as it's just to show something in a sense. So what happened here? Yeah, the red is what is being excavated. So keeps happening. From my anticipation, you'd have a lot of material cut away, which some of it would be used for fill back in the building, but a lot of it would not be used. Maybe you could have it lower down here for landscaping or whatever. As you can see, the model is not entirely finished because, like here, would have a footpath to go all around. That has not been put in yet. So let me get to some of the problems. In my mind, the one thing which there are two things which I didn't see coming until I did the model. This space here needs some work. The intention originally was to have gas and area for gas and other utilities, like a little storage area, but it's not too intrusive on the entry. Some reason it looks a bit too heavy. I pulled down this wall to try and oh boy, I tried to do something last minute with that, but it wasn't really working out. I remember we said we're gonna take out this wall, you actually need either a wall or a rail there. So I sort of slanted it, but it still looks a bit heavy. Um, the other thing I didn't account for, well, I sort of did, but I didn't think it'll be this bad. My initial impetus in asserting these levels for the driveway, for the walkway, and for the guest parking was to have those line up on center with the road. So here it should be same level as the road, here it should be same level as the road, here it should be same level as the road. They more or less work out that way. But obviously, as these are not slanted with the road and they're flat, you have these funny conditions where you have this high. So obviously a vehicle can't climb up to that. So this might needs to slope. Also, this might need to slope with the road. They all would need to slope with the road to avoid these funny conditions here. Um, so that's mainly that's the main issues I have with it. Aside from that, it it more or less seems to work. Uh, Other little thing, this wall that I have here, I think it's getting too close to the pool. I don't like it, so that's something to adjust. Um, all in all, it the the massing of it looks good to me. I mean, take a look at this. Imagine this is just a computer generated thing, and it's not even rendered, but it looks pretty good to me when you consider how these step down. So it gives hierarchy to the main building, and there's a sequence. So it's not just some random change in levels. There's a sequence to this which gives order. There's symmetry in this, so this is balanced when you're looking at it from the front. So it has I think it's a very strong project. It needs a couple tweaks, but pretty strong project. I mean, it's in terms of cost, uh, it's looking up there. It's looking like you might have to have some very smart cost saving measures because when you consider, I mean, just looking at it, it's a lot of building infrastructure. Maybe some of this could be reduced a bit, but it kind of looks nice. I mean, from above at least. This let me try and give you a sense of. I think this wall is. I remember you had said you would like to berm this. Maybe we might look at that instead, or maybe do this out of stone or something. So this is what you see when you enter in, and you just rotate around, vanishing edge pool. Obviously, I'd have to put a pump room below here. I still haven't thought about where the cistern is going. I keep forgetting to think about that. Um, but that's a small issue. It could go pretty much anywhere. Just have to think about the most strategic area to put it. So the pump room would be underneath here. Um, let's go to this master balcony. I was asking about that. So this is a reflection pond, green wall. Obviously, this just looks like one solid green. In reality, it'll have vines and whatnot. This is just a representation. So it's quite private. Well, private to extend. The living room kind of intersects with it a bit, but I mean it's your living room, so it's private from the guest. It's they can't see anything. You're up in the air. The only thing is your view is sort of tunneled.